Hey folks, Steve here with an unboxing video. I actually am going to have two unboxing videos today that I hope will be uploaded to YouTube this evening and then posted to Board Game Geek for the relevant games. This video is an unboxing for 1870, the War Against the Empire. This is from CSL Games, or I think it's Conflict Simulations Limited. This is the first game by this publisher that I've purchased, so this will kind of be a new one for me and see what it looks like. So we're a GMT or a Compass, we kind of know what to expect. I guess I don't know too much what to expect other than CSL is I think a relatively newer company. They have a certain number of games available today on their website, and they have a whole string of games that are coming in the pipeline. And based on me purchasing this, I think I ordered it before it was officially released, and then I received it when, as soon as it was available. And the games are made to order, I think, similar to how Hollandspiel does it, I think, where like you order a game, it is constructed and printed and put together for the order that you made and then shipped to you, which is why it takes like a couple of weeks from the time you purchase a game for it to actually arrive. So this is something that I sort of got on a whim. I didn't have any big plans for this particular product. And being 1870, you can kind of guess that this covers the Franco-Prussian War. I actually have a couple other games covering the Franco-Prussian War, which kind of makes this whole thing kind of funny, because it's like, Franco-Prussian War, kind of a war that doesn't, I don't know, you might not be terribly interested in just due to the way the war panned out. But I have this game, Franco-Prussian War 40 from Victory Point Games. Victory Point Games is now kind of getting out of the war game business, so this might be a hard thing to find. This is a pretty light treatment, maybe similar to this, we'll see. Pretty light, and then I also have from Compass Games, On to Paris, which this is a bit more of a, big, gigantic map, lots of hexes and counter, much more complicated, bigger, longer game. And I suspect that 1870 is going to sit somewhere between these two, where this is much more simple, but still a decent number of rules. This is really big and complex. This will be maybe somewhere in the middle. And technically, I guess I have At Any Cost Metz 1870, but that's more of a sort of a different level game than I think either of these or any of these. On the back here, it just kind of gives you some more information, and let's see if as I'm looking at this, and you can see. Yeah, weight is 7 out of 10, so that's fairly weighty. Good solitaire. We're going to get some counters. We're going to get a map. We're going to get a rule book. So I think this will be pretty straightforward. I think you can get this game in a boxed, in a Ziploc versions. You can pick. The box, I think, is more expensive because you're paying for the box. But come on, you got to have the box on your game shelf. And it's got this great picture of Otto von Bismarck on it. So we're going to... And you can see it's part of the Long Century Operation series, I guess, a new series from the publisher. So I'm going to rip off the plastic here, and we will see what's inside this sucker. Again, should be a pretty straightforward unboxing video, because there's not going to be much. Shouldn't be too much to look at. I'm going to throw this plastic away. And okay, so we're gonna take the lid off. It's pretty light. This is a pretty light box. So there we go. It looks like this is our rule book. This seems pretty light. So if I look here, 14 pages. I can kind of get a whiff of like the adhesive materials probably used for the box, kind of wafting, so you might want to air it out the first time. This is probably freshly made, and it looks like the rules There's not much in the way of pictures, but it looks like it's a pretty straightforward rule set. It looks like the rules are set out more or less in the turn order, I'm guessing, as I'm looking at this. But only 14 pages, so not really a whole lot there, and then some design notes that might be good to read, setup information, and then some back advertisements for some of the other games by this publisher. There's a lot they have coming out. So yeah, there you go, rulebook, pretty straightforward. Looks like there are some player aid charts here for the force pulls of both sides, so you want to set these up next to the map, and then it looks like these are the counters. This does remind me a lot of some of the boxed games you could get from Victory Point Games. Very similar. I suspect maybe they even had a similar manufacturer of counters, I guess, but you can kind of see, or maybe I'm thinking of Hollenspiel. That's probably what I'm thinking of. It's the actual counter board here is pretty thick, and it looks like you can just kind of see. I can punch these counters out, and there's sprues, one here and one here, and so these are going to be pretty easy to punch out, and they're going to be nice solid counters for what we're looking at here. And as I'm looking, it looks like these are all the counters of the game, so not a huge number of counters. Looks like there's something resembling strength points, and then something either these are HQs or, I'm going to have to look at the rules. I guess I'm not exactly sure what all these things represent. In terms of counters, I don't think it's that far off from that Victory Point Games Franco-Prussian war game, so it's probably somewhere in a similar weightiness. And then here is the map. It does seem to be a paper map, and as I unfold it here, this looks like it's about half the size of what we might refer to as a typical war game map, but 22-inch by 34-inch, I think is the standard. This is 22 by 17, so it is a half. Looks like there are various charts along the side of the map. So we've got terrain chart, turn track, general records track, a victory point track, and then there are additionally some other charts up here. Not entirely sure. Some of them look like combat results charts, and then yeah, the map which is running. Paris is right here, and you can get a little west of that. It goes down south as far as Nevers. I'm probably not saying that right, but well. So yeah, so Nevers is here, or Orleans. I'm not sure. I can't speak French. Belfort over here, and then you kind of have this is Germany over here, or I should say the North German Confederation, because it wasn't Germany yet, and obviously a number of different fortresses along the way. Metz is here, so yeah, I think this is probably not terribly far off from that Victory Point Games game. They're probably sitting in a very similar area, though I think just kind of looking at things. This being, I have to imagine, the same production company that does Hollenspiel. In general, the components of this seem to be a bit better than what I had in the Victory Point Games Franco-Prussian war game. And the fact that Victory Point Games is no longer doing war games means if you want a lighter 1870, Franco-Prussian war game, this is probably where you're going to want to go. And then, yeah, if you want something complicated, then you might want to look at On to Paris and whatnot. So yeah, I think that's it. So not a huge number of components. I would play this with plexiglass because of the paper map. The counters look like they'll be nice and sturdy once they're punched. The good quality stuff. Player rate charts are okay. Rulebook is fine. Not much to say about it. There's no picture examples, which would have been nice. I think they could have managed to do something like that. But, I don't think this game's probably so complicated that you really need that. so that's fine. And everything is going to fit right back inside the box very easy. Even once the counters are punched, it'll all fit back in. Very nice and easy. Very good stuff. Okay, well that's unboxing 1870 War Against the Empire. My game room's a mess right now. But yeah, 1870 by CSL Conflict Simulations Limited. Nice little operational game on Franco-Prussian War. Maybe we'll do some coverage of this down the road. Seems like it'll be a pretty quick playing game, not too meaty, not too bad. I mean, 14 pages of rules on a smaller booklet like that, I mean, that's not terribly complicated. It's hex and counter. There's no cards or anything else. It's just a nice hex and counter game. So this might be, you know, I'm going to make a prediction. It's probably a pretty solid game. Might be even a good game to play with somebody new to the hobby, but we'll prove that out in time. So thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you in the next video. I'm going to have another unboxing video here very, very shortly, and we'll be continuing our playthrough of the Dark Valley, the eternal playthrough of the Dark Valley. That will take forever. I'm sure it'll be a year will have passed by the time I'm done with the Dark Valley, because there's just so much, and I committed to playing as much of that game as possible, which we've got a whole lot of other stuff to look at too. So, all right, catch you later, guys. Have a good one. Keep gaming.